Great to be back, and this is my third time here, and in the previous two times I talked about, you know, hey, what is OpCat, what can it enable, what kind of opportunities it can offer. I think last time we talked about what kind of things people already built, you know, with OpCat, for example, on Fractal, we talk about some wallets, some infrastructure, some upcoming apps such as almost like a pump.fun but on Bitcoin. So today I think I'm going to talk about, or last time we also, kind of do a little bit of a technical dive into how sCrypt works and what it looks like, what is the, standard workflow if you're using it to program any kind of a smart contracts using OpCat. So today I'm going to, it's this like, I want to highlight some of the projects which you can actually build using sCrypt today, which nobody has built before. So just give you, you know, you can almost think of this like a wish list of apps, I wish people can build using sCrypt today. Okay, so it's really all these ideas. It's all free, so feel free to run with it and then build it. You don't have to pay me anything, so it's all free to grab. Okay, so yeah, okay, again, we want to make this interactive. So anytime you have questions, so just pause and ask. Okay, if it makes sense, makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, just say it. Okay. So just a little bit of like a review for people, just a fresh reminder. So we talk about sCrypt. OpCat is great, but you are probably not going to ever use OpCat to write any kind of like a so-called Bitcoin smart contract manually because it's virtually impossible. Okay, anything that's non-trivial. So you probably will, I think you're going to use something like sCrypt. Okay, so it's like a high-level language, but it compiles down to Bitcoin script. Okay, so you don't have to know anything about raw script. It's like you can code in Solidity. Okay, you don't worry about EVM opcodes. That's not unless you are like a core protocol developers. Okay, so this is also what it looks like is for anybody who has done any kind of like a TypeScript or any kind of object-oriented programs. You should be very familiar. So I'm not going to jump into details again. So why we choose to sorry, I think it's a so why do we choose to have people using some standard language, like most popular language, like JavaScript or TypeScript to write Bitcoin smart contract is because, in the entire world, it's just, there's like almost like 1,000 times more so-called Web2 developers in the world versus so-called Web3 developers. Okay, and we're talking about tens of millions versus like tens of thousands. So that's the whole point. It's like any other JavaScript library. You can npm download it, and then after that, it's just another library for you. Okay, you don't have to learn anything completely new. Okay, so I think the most interesting use cases of OpCat, which is on today running live on Fractal today, is this new token protocol called CAT. It has two variants. One is CAT 20, and the other is 721. So the first one is for fungible standard, the other one is for non-fungible version. Okay. So it's a very unique thing that's you can only do with because OpCat is re-enabled on Fractal. Okay, so this is a little bit of background. So from now on, I want to talk about some applications I wish people can build using this tool today, but has not been built yet. So I think it's a lot of opportunity. I'm going to walk through some of the examples, applications I'm really excited about, and hopefully you guys can take some of this away. And hey, maybe somebody here, build the next, unicorn apps because of the OpCat. Okay, so a little bit. I think last time we briefly talked about CAT 721, but it's actually just released. It was just released last week. So this is completely new. I think this is the latest, NFT protocol on top of Bitcoin, of course, assuming OpCat. So for people who have not heard about this, you can almost think about this like Ordinals, but 2.0. It solves a lot of problem the Ordinals protocol have. For example, you don't have a built-in on-chain provenance. Okay, so for now, everything, all this, whether an FT is in a collection or not, is always defined on-chain. You don't have to rely on, off-chain, let's say JSON data, or you don't have to rely on some centralized marketplace. Okay, or everything is also is smart contract capable. Okay, compatible. So you can build all kinds of applications, so-called dApps, using this new protocol. And also it has so-called optional, royalties. One big thing, a lot of artists complain about Ordinal is the lack of support for royalties. Okay, so a lot of new features. This is completely new. I think when I talked last time here, there's no Cat 721. It just came out last week. So this is just completely something
So with
Chinese
Cat
territory.
721, you can um uh lock in royalties on chain like right away when you create it.
Yes, it's an option. So basically, I mean, the cat is always about opportunity options. So if you want, some artists say, hey, I don't want to enforce royalty on chain. That's okay. You can almost set it 0. But if you want to enforce it, you can also code it such that every time it changes hand, the original creator is going to take a cut. Okay. Some people like it,
So
some people
so
don't.
I'm
But it's all
curious
up to
if
you. Yeah.
so let's say I make my royalties 5% and then later on I want to change it. Can I update it later on? Or is it just baked in 5% forever?
Right now, the current implementation is fixed. Is fixed. I think that's
Okay.
usually what the NFT royals is. Usually it's fixed. Yeah.
All right. All right. Very cool.
But
Very cool.
but I
It's a
think it's
huge
possible
upgrade.
you can, yeah, you can update it. It's everything is just smart contract. You define your own rules. If you want to make the percentage, uh, let's say configurable, updatable, you can do that. You just have to program your own contract. Okay.
So two big things that Cat 721 solves for ordinals, because it's like you're saying it's ordinals 2.0. It's basically I mean you said the parent child or provenance problem and the royalty problem. Anything else?
Oh, I think also you don't need an indexer. Okay, everything is enforced on chain, and also
Uh,
is you can be integrated into all kind of smart contract. For example, you can say, hey, only if you want to post some, let's say you can build a DAX pretty much. Like you can build a marketplace, but it's decentralized because everything is on chain. It's almost similar to DAX I talked about last time for Cat 20. Uh, you don't need PSBT, you don't need a centralized marketplace. You can post just everything, all your orders on chain, and you can specify your, let's say your conditions. Hey, how much is this FT, or what kind of FT you want to buy, what price you want.
uh,
So everything is on chain, enforced by contracts.
is this is on Fractal, right?
Yeah, because Opcat is on
Right.
Fractal, but not on
Okay.
BTC today.
Okay. Right. Right. Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. I think go ahead. Somebody, Robert.
Yeah, I just wanted to see for the royalties, that crosses over via platforms even because I asked for like a scenario like eventually OpenSea started to not honor royalties.
Mhm.
I don't know how they were doing that, but they were doing that eventually. Is that something that we could avoid with this system to to cross over no matter what platform it's
Yes.
at? It just has to honor it.
Yes. So the way if you really want, okay, so there are two ways to enforce a royalty. Number one is almost like an ordinary system. The
Mhm.
marketplace has to honor it. So that means every time you sell or resell, you have to pay a percentage to the original creator's address, which is inscribed on chain, by the way, in CAT 721. And that's one way. So that depends on the marketplace. So another way, that's off-chain, right? Enforcement. But you can